Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are up and running for none other than Game 2 of the NLCS with the Milwaukee Brewers taking on the god-awful billion-dollar team that nobody outside of the MLB's front office and one microscopic island somewhere in the Pacific root for. And let's face it, the Dodgers were just there last year. We don't need them back in the World Series because if the Dodgers go to the World Series again this year, after being there last year and being in the NLCS every year and buying up basically every single player in existence, well, then we will have a problem. Baseball will have a huge problem. They finally figured out how to market their stars. We don't need them to have the problem of, well, we just now learned how to market our stars, but now it's the same teams every year. That is the NFL's problem and the mistake the NFL has made, where it's the same at least one team every year. The AL side of things is a fresh of breath air because it's the Mariners and Blue Jays. Someone's going to their first World Series, or their first one. It's going to be either in their first one or there for the first time in a long time. The Brewers, if they make the World Series, that'll also be a brush of fresh air for everybody not named Rob Manfred. If we can get a Brewers-Mariners World Series, that will be a World Series America deserves. The World Series we're going to get probably and don't deserve is, well, Dodgers-Mariners. America would even settle for Dodgers-Blue Jays, even though the Blue Jays are not America's team, they're Canada's team. It's just, we'll find out what comes up next. They're on a, commercial break here. I would have that radio behind me turned on, but I can't do that due to legal reasons. Otherwise, I would be listening to the radio broadcast as we go. This is going to be an interesting night for Brewer fans. Tonight's going to be so interesting. I don't know what Brewer fans are going to think. Sweet mother of God, I got a Christmas ad during baseball. Sweet mother of God, have mercy on our souls. This is gonna be bad. It is something. This game, it's gonna be something. The beautiful, beautiful Miller Park. Or I guess technically American Family Field. But who cares? It is a beautiful sight. Here comes Shohei Ohtani. We'll see what comes next of this. It is going to be one hell of a game, probably. And I really hope Freddie Peralta is still Freddie Peralta. Not the version of him we saw in the, that got shelled. We need him to go back to being the version of him that's good. Alright, the superstar from Japan. So the Dodgers lineup is Ohtani's hitting leadoff, Betts in the 2-hole, Freeman at the 3 slot. Hitting cleanup is Will Smith, Max Muncy's at the 5 spot, Teoscar Hernandez is 6th, Tommy Edman was 7, and they didn't get to the 8 and 9 slots, but basically they're rolling out the same lineup they did last night. Hold on, folks. Before the game starts, I'm responding to a text message from a girl. This is very important stuff, you know. Oh, yeah, the Brewers... Bowers is out in left field. Frelick's in center, Churio in right. Bowers out in left. That is a strategy. Not a whole lot, Bubs. Not a whole lot. Just went through an entire day of classes. And one of my debate classes, the practice warm-up debate, was debating who was better between Mike Trout and Shohei Ohtani, and I proudly planted my flag on Mike Trout. You see the themes? Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Yes, yeah, Matthew, I agree with you. Anyway, screw school. It's overrated. I can't believe everything I'm doing now is the fact that an employer wants me to go into debt and have that stupid piece of paper that means nothing in life in the grand scheme of things, because I run the Rob Dog Sport Brief. The podcast will be coming out after this game is over. And everything. I run this YouTube page, the social medias and everything. And we are away with the first pitch, and Ohtani watched one right down the middle. He's hitting 138 with 2 dingers on the year and 5 ribbies. Well, on this, I guess, postseason. Strike 2. And the one little kid behind home plate goes mild. Benjamin, come stop at Citizen State Bank next time you're in La Crosse. Well, I'm in La Crosse basically every day, but I don't stop at a bank unless I have a reason to, Ben. Alright, we have Ohtani at 0-2 count and just a bit outside. I know I'm not Bob Uecker, but someone had to say it. Thank you for everyone who is here watching this, because that doesn't have cable. I have you covered. That one's low and away and inside. It is now a 22 count. Ohtani's hitting 138 in the postseason. Last year, he played like shit in the postseason as well. When are we going to acknowledge that Ohtani is not this guy that we all thought he was? Because swing and a miss for strike 3. Ohtani just proved my point. When the lights are shining brightest, he goes to his dullest. If anything, it's his teammate that's in the 3-hole in Freddie Freeman who won the lights are shining the brightest that lives up to the moment. Look at last night. Like, when are we going to acknowledge Ohtani's great in the regular season, especially when he plays teams like the Marlins? And when you're in a division where you get to beat up on the Rockies like 20 times a year, your numbers are going to be inflated. Betts is 333 on the postseason with his average. It's a 1-0 count as Peralta's behind him early. And they gave him benefit of the doubt there. It's going to be a strike. That is... I will take it. Shaded Jelly. Shohei Ohtani. Yeah. Quick, somebody tell Ohtani he needs to bet the under for his average, and he needs to put the money on the Brewers beating them in 7 so we can get a Brewers World Series appearance. Swing and a miss as Mookie Betts was swinging out of his boots on that one. And don't worry, Ohtani literally has an entire country that will take the fall for him over there in Japan. We'll see what happens here. 22 pitch, high and inside. It's a full count here. Bryce Durang, take notes. You don't swing at one that high and inside. But then again, I can't really I can't judge much because I've made that mistake. Matthew has seen me make that mistake. Just barely misses for ball 4. Mookie Betts gets on. The first innings seem to have always been troublesome for the Brewers this postseason. Yeah, that just barely missed from what I saw in the replay. Thank you. Thank you for not repeating him there, Ben. This is a family programming, though he could put it in the comment section. Doesn't mean I'll see it. Peralta paints the high outside corner there for ball first and gets strike one. Freddie Freeman's only dinger in the entire postseason came last night and what ultimately broke the camel's straw for the Brewers. Or I guess broke the camel's back. The straw that broke the camel's back. Yeah. Yeah, I know, Trevor. A lot of us don't like him. There's Blake Snell in the dugout. That man, he put up one of the best pitching performances I could have seen last night. Like that, it was impressive the kind of numbers he put up. It is now 1-2, and is Yamamoto doing his warm-ups in the dugout? I salute him. Anyways, Freddie Freeman hits it, but Churio just pitched a tent and waited. Not that kind of tent, guys. I can see it now. There's one person in the comment section who went there. Yep. It was just a can of corn pitch. He set up his tent and got the can of corn waiting. So this outing is definitely going better than the last time that Freddie Peralta. Yeah, there it is. There's the 6-7 joke. I was waiting for it. So that brings up Will Smith, the Dodgers cleanup hitter tonight. He's hitting .235 on the postseason. Once again, Peralta's down early, 1-0 count early. And that one's belt high right down the middle. How do you watch that? Honestly, you want to know why I think baseball needs one? You want to know why I think baseball needs a salary cap, Matthew? Look at the Dodgers and Mets and how it's just the same. I'm just using the Mets and Dodgers as an example. But teams like the Brewers, when they get a star, they lose them. So 1-2 count. We'll see what happens. I will come back to this topic after this pitch and at bat. Swing and a miss for strike 3. The inning is over. But anyways, coming back to Matthew's point, well, yes, Shaden, well, the Mets did miss the playoffs. Let's look at teams like the Brewers, the Guardians, or I guess we're going to the bottom of the first. Yeah, I can see Harris. I understand his argument why he's saying they don't need a salary cap, but I also understand why fans want one because the Brewers will never be able to afford solid starting pitching in the free agent market and have to rely on the draft or minor league system. And once they get a star, if they didn't lock him up the way they did Churio early on, they know they're not going to afford him because here come the Dodgers, here come the Mets, here come the Phillies, the Yankees, the Red Sox. You see a trend. It's always those teams who flex their big market muscles, and occasionally the Cubs will do it too. Rumor has the 35ers need a cap. I didn't know I was getting paid to play baseball for them, unless you're talking about a new one because you want mine. I didn't know we got paid to play amateur baseball. But yeah. I don't think baseball's going to ever have a salary cap. These last couple off seasons where it's like where we saw how we saw back-to-back off seasons consist of the Ohtani contract and the Soto contract. I don't think there's going to be any more contracts like that given out anytime soon because those were like Ohtani is a one, like even though he's playing like crap in the postseason, these first two, when he got that contract, we all knew someone was going to break the bank for him. The question was, is it going to be the Yankees, Cubs, or Dodgers? We all knew Toronto was kind of just the decoy there. For God's sakes, he sent his dog there and called him decoy. But yes, in Pat Murphy we trust. Anyways, here's the Brewers starting lineup. Jackson Chourio is hitting leadoff. Bryce Turang in the 2-hole. Contreras in the 3-hole. Yelich, our MVP, is hitting cleanup. Andrew the King Vaughn is hitting 5th. Frelick at 6th. And I did not get to, once again, 7, 8, 9. But anyways, here comes Yamamoto's first pitch to Chourio. And he gets one. It's going way back. Get up! Get up! Get out of here! Gone! Chourio with the leadoff shot. That kid is born for October. Well, yes, I'm not Bob Uecker. We all know that is what about 40,000 people were saying in that stadium. Dave Roberts always looks like he's going to cry in October. I think last year when he was crying after winning the World Series was justifiable. Winning a World Series that even the MLB players make fun of that 2020 World Series, like everyone, including the home players, make fun of that. But anyways, Bryce Turang is now coming up. Watches one down and away at his ankles. That is going to be a 1-0 count. All it took was the first pitch Chourio saw and the thing left the yard. Oh yeah, belt high right down the middle. You could tell that on the replay there. Yamamoto's location was not where he wanted that pitch, and once again Turang chased the high cheese, but again, I've been there, done that. I want to see, man, Dave Roberts around. Yeah. See, one of the things I want to know, I'm not saying Roberts isn't a good manager because he has the Dodgers in the conversation every year as Turang grounded out here to Muncie, making it a, let's see here, it's either a 5-3 ground out or a 6-3 ground out. Okay, so it's a 6-3 ground out. I'm going to say it's a 5-3 ground out because there's no way. Because Betts would be your shortstop, not Muncie. So 5-3 ground out there, if you're keeping the books with me here. Contreras trying to swing for the fences at one low away and inside for a 0-1 count here. But my question with Dave Roberts is he... Freddie Freeman loses the ball, and if that would have been anybody besides the catcher and Contreras or the first baseman and Andrew Vaughn, like if that would have been Turang or Yelich, Durbin, even Joey Ortiz, he probably would have ran it out because he lost the ball looking around underneath him, picks it up from under his butt and threw it to the Yamamoto in time to where this is where you know catchers are not known for their speed. Here comes Yelich. Once again, trying to swing for the fences. They're good because they spend more money than the whole division. Yeah. That one's high and inside. Damn near hit Yelich in the wrist. You know, the funny thing is, the Brewers are winning 1-0. We're at our 4-hole hitter, and this is only going to be the 10th pitch of the inning for Yamamoto. So, let's see here. But yeah, the Dodgers, they are good because they do spend more money than basically the entire world of baseball. I think the Dodgers are printing their own money. Yelich fouls that one off the back of the plate for a 2-2 count here. But anyways, where I was getting at, because you could spend Case in point, you can spend all the money you want the way Steve Cohen did with the Mets, and they've only made the playoffs once with him as their owner, even with all the money he's spending. Yelich ground ball picked up by Muncy and just barely gets thrown out. So after the first inning here, the Brewers have a 1-0 lead as Chourio. Yeah, I can't say what I want to say. You know what? Jackson Chourio sunk the Yamamoto on the first pitch he saw. If you get the reference, you get the reference. But yeah, the Dodgers, yeah, they're good because they spend all this money, but they also, one could argue, yes, they overpay for some of their role players, but they got guys like Tommy Edman, where, well, yeah, he's making more than most Tommy Edmans in the league would be making as normally. But without Edman last year, they don't win that World Series. They wouldn't be there if the Mets would have beat them in the NLCS last year if Tommy Edman wasn't on that roster. The only flaw on Dave Roberts, howdy ho, neighbor. But anyways, the only flaw on David Roberts' resume for being the skipper of the Dodgers for all these years is he should have had at the very least, more World Series appearances. Like, he went to the World Series in 2017 and lost to the Astros. He went to, okay, so he should probably won more World Series than he did. Because he went there 2017 and lost to the Astros, 2018 and lost to the Bo Sox. He beat the Rays in 2020 in that really weird World Series where even the players that have the rings from that season, like Clayton Kershaw and all them, make fun of it. He lost in the divisional round in 21. He lost again in 22. 23, he lost in the divisional or NLCS, I'm pretty sure. Last year, we know he won the whole damn thing, but my question with Dave Roberts, and I guess the postseason kind of answers this. How good would Dave Roberts be with a team like, yeah, I'll use the Brewers as this example, ironically. Let's say Pat Murphy never happens, and Dave Roberts is the skipper of the Brewers. Are we where we are? We'll say Murphy's coaching the Dodgers. Roberts is the skipper of the Brewers. It may not be the best analogy, but that just say it that we'll leave it there because they'll show that he kind of got carried by the ownership's money and talent they brought in, but he's still not but he still has to but he's still not as bad a skipper as some people think. He has to set up the lineup cards every day, figure out who goes up and down between AAA and the show, and managing a bullpen and all that. We have a 1-1 count here with Max Muncy, the 5-hitter. Freddie Peralta digging back in on the bump. Defending a 1-0 lead here in Game 2 of the NLCS. It's a swing and a miss for strike 2. Tomorrow night, I will not be able to be doing this, though I think tomorrow's a travel day for the Dodgers, which works out great. So I might be live again Thursday. That one's way outside for ball 2. Like, that didn't even come close to the mark. But I would be guilty as charged for swinging at that occasionally. Anyways, for Peralta, here comes, pops it up. Durbin, then third base coach's box, makes the catch. Obviously, I'm always going like this for like the teammates telling I got it, but obviously the Dodgers third base coach could see him coming, but my guess is when he's going like that on it, that's kind of just telling the third base coach, like, hey, I'm coming. I can't yell at you. I'm coming through, but I'm coming through. And here comes that pitch. That one's low and away, it looks like. They're showing the manager of the year, Pat Murphy. If he doesn't win it this year for someone like Dave Roberts or something else like that, I will be confused. Peralta low and away again, and it's now a 2-0 count. I don't think very rarely does Peralta actually give us like a clean inning. This one, and that's low and away again for ball 3. Freddie Peralta just can never give you a clean 1-2-3 inning ever, can he? And Yamamoto is being an iPad kid looking at the tablet. That one's high inside, but strike one. It is now a 3-1 count. Teoscar Hernandez in the 6th hole here. He has the hitter's count, knowing Freddie has to throw him a strike. And he pops it up. Vaughn and Contreras making that run off the back of the wall of the dugout. Some fan gets an NLCS souvenir. Even if that's on it, that would not have been. Nice bare hand grab by the fan. And no, we are not banana balling it. Oh, we're having a cold beer tonight, whether they win or lose, Trevor. You know when this is over, I'm cracking a cold one. There it is, full count, the delivery pitch. Deep fly ball, way back. See ya tomorrow. This thing is tied. Freddie Peralta once again gets taken. He gives up the dinger. Teoscar Hernandez this time. We are tied at 1 again. And in both teams' hits have been the long ball. There are a few Dodger fans in Miller Park. Yeah, that thing was belt high right down the middle. You're not catching. That was screaming hit me. We are once again tied. Tommy Edman takes strike 1. Peralta once again showing that he can never really give anyone a clean inning. No, and I don't plan on trying it anytime. I'll drink beer, but I'm not going to do any of the other stuff. So here is the 1-1 count. That is a fastball right down the middle for strike 2. I cannot believe Edman did not try and swing at that. He calls the time to take his timeout. The Brewers, they're going to have to get at Yamamoto more and work up his pitch count because from what I've seen in the wild card and divisional series rounds, Edman, fly ball, Churrio's back, but catches it with room at the track for that routine flyout. Dave Roberts doesn't really trust his bullpen, and rightfully so, because his bullpen's been a struggle this year. We'll see what Yamamoto can do when they come back out in the bottom half of the frame. Milwaukee hoping to hold them to just the one solo shot as E.K. Hernandez comes up in the 8th spot here. And this is going to be a 1-0 count. Hernandez is hitting .346 in the postseason, which, damn. Peralta, that one is in for a strike. My only concern is Freddie Peralta's pitch count is going to be a problem here, unless he can get a couple quick, clean innings. That one's low and away for ball 2. Peralta's at 37 pitches, which I don't usually start getting concerned until my pitcher's north of the 50 pitch mark in either the 2nd or 3rd inning. That's chopped foul. But when we get to the 45, 50 pitch range and you're not out of the 3rd, then I start sweating some bullets. because it means you're in trouble. Here comes the delivery. That's a ground ball. It's a C&I single right up the middle. Once again, the Dodgers get another hit, and the billion-dollar super team is doing what a billion-dollar payroll should do. That is, if the Dodgers win the World Series again this year, then the cry for the salary cap and everything will be real, because it would be to the point of where a team literally has paid their way to the World Series. That one, that's an inside chop grounder foul. Are you ripping the yard? No, I'm just gonna crack a cold beer here in the command center, working on my podcast and stuff when this is over. Anyways, here it is. It's an 0-1 count. Peralta with the blowing away. He's at 40 pitches. If he doesn't get out of this soon and then have a couple clean, quick innings, we're going to have some trouble. Because the bullpen was taxed. And that's going to be a base hit down the line in fair territory. That is going... They're sending him, and it is the relay home. Not in time. The Dodgers take a 2-1 lead with a RBI double by Paez. And once again, Freddie Peralta is struggling, and showing the problem he had all year. And the Dodgers are celebrating early here again, as Peralta once again left one right down the middle, screaming, "Hit me." The amount of Dodger fans in our stadium is pathetic. Yeah, that wasn't ever close. That wasn't even close. And that's going to bring up Ohtani again. Here in the second inning, and the Dodgers leadoff man's coming back to the plate once again. Freddie Peralta. Now it's getting to the point where I'm going to start sweating some bullets if he doesn't get out of this. That one's low and outside, call a strike. Ohtani 0 for 1, struck out in the first inning here. Strike 2 as Ohtani watches another one. Really hoping the Brewers can get out of this and then get the offense going one more time, because, oh boy, this is not exactly going too well. Ohtani gets a hold of one, and Turio is there for the flyout, but the damage has been done as the Dodgers take a 2-1 lead over the Brewers. This is not... Why? Oh, like the Dodgers praying to God for the victory, as if they need the help. You have everything you need on your side. You have the billion-dollar payroll, Rob Manfred. You don't need anything else. Literally nobody in America wants the Dodgers back in the World Series. Just like last year was the World Series nobody wanted, but we got. God, I hope Milwaukee bounces back. If they lose tonight and they go to LA down 2-0, then I'm going to be concerned. Like I will say, there's going to be some major problems at that point. Hold on, responding to some text messages in between the break. So yeah, the damage was done once again. We get to see the billion-dollar team doing what billion-dollar teams do, which is honestly kind of annoying. And if I might have to consider the Olive Garden thing at some point, but I am a very busy man. I am a very, very busy man. But yeah, I will say it is going to be a little ridiculous. If the Dodgers are in the World Series again, well, the city of Los Angeles will be happy. If you get Seattle and Los Angeles in the World Series, that's going to be slightly an issue because it's just going to be an all West Coast. My opinion on Canada? Like a baseball player named Canada? The coach Matt Canada? Or the actual country? If it's the country, why would I care? I don't live there. If it's the coach, okay. He's coaching football somewhere. And if it's a baseball player named Canada, poor bastard, named after a country. And it is now a 2-0 count on Vaughn. Yamamoto's only thrown 14 pitches. He had a really quick inning, even with that home run. Vaughn hits one. Muncy picks it up, throws it to first. High outside. It's going to be. So Vaughn is safe at first. The Brewers, they're going to have to. Vaughn's a dog. Yeah. Andrew Vaughn gets on. We'll see if they score that a single or an error. Looks like. I don't know if that's going to be deemed an infield hit or not. The throw was high and wide after he was starting to bobble it, and he knocks it away and has to go run over to pick it up. It is officially scored an E5. Frelick grounds into a double. It's thrown high into the outfield. Oh, they're saying it's a foul ball. That's a choice. It must have. Did it hit the plate? I don't know what happened, but the umpire said it's a foul ball. So, what could have been a double play or disaster was as Freeman threw it away, and we still get a double play. Nope, and they still throw it away, but instead of what it could have been two back-to-back times of double plays, the Dodgers both times threw it away, except one Freeman would have airmailed the second baseman and sent it into left field. This time around, after Freeman gets to it, Mookie Betts airmails it and is lucky it didn't go into and it looks like Yamamoto did just enough to alter its trajectory so it doesn't go into the Brewers' dugout. Hopefully Milwaukee can get something going here with Caleb Durbin at the plate. Runner at first and one down on what should have been a double play ball. He chops that one foul. He hasn't thrown 20 pitches yet, which 18 pitches in the second inning here. You're an inning and a third through the game and only needed 18 pitches. This is not good for the Brewers because it means the Dodgers are sitting pretty again with their bullpen situation. Durbin lines one foul. Hopefully Milwaukee can start getting some guys on because you're going to need to get runners on, as we saw with the Dodgers there. Frelick has the speed. So here comes the 0-2 pitch from Yamamoto. Okay, now he throws it right down the boulevard for strike 3, and he watched it. Come on, dude. It's an 0-2 count. At least swing the bat. Don't drink ginger ale. It's gotta be a drink worth my time. So here comes Jake Bauers. He's 3 for 5 with a dinger this postseason. Swings and a miss at a really bad at a curveball that Jurassic changed it. And he probably will need a screwdriver to unscrew him from the ground here. Yamamoto with the disengagement, trying to do the pickoff, but doesn't throw it. So he has one disengagement left. Here comes the pitch. Bauers right to Mookie Betts. This time he does not airmail it, and the Brewers got two guys on. Eventually, at some point, they had their chances, but nobody reached further than first base, and eventually there it is. The Brewers do what they're notorious for. Hopefully Peralta can put up a 0 here because we're going to need it. My concern here is we're not getting the Yamamoto, and we're just letting him do what he wants. Like, if we let the starter go deep in the game again and they don't have to use their bullpen like at all, we'll be screwed when we go to LA. Yeah, I would say no. Yamamoto's no Blake Snell. Don't get me wrong. I won't be surprised if he goes again. Like, if we get at him eventually. So the commercial showing them trying to carry an old box TV. If I could have carried that box TV from the family home to the Brewers, from the family home to my apartment, I would have brought that thing, and it would have been sitting right there where the 32-incher is, because it would have been beautiful. Coke or Pepsi? Shaden, I'm a Coke guy. Coke! Give me that red can of Coke all day. I don't need that Black Death from Pepsi. Cupcakes or cake? Matthew, the cupcakes or cake thing, they both taste the same, and whatever you do, if you're going to give me either one, don't use this stupid fake whipped cream frosting crap and put real freaking frosting on it. Only here in the Rob Dog Sport Brief are we talking about Coke, Pepsi, Pop, and sweets in between innings. Yeah, I actually do, Matthew. I very much do wish they'd go back to dirt and grass, because the artificial turf, it's dumb, and there's a lot of injuries. Like, it has statistically been